Hello สวัสดีค่ะ
Hello How are you today
I'm fine
Questions
when
Today?
I try
To speak English
to translate present no passive no phrasal verb
Phrasal verb
phrasal verb and idiom they said they are same meaning same term meaning
Similar but a phrasal verb is usually two words like hang on hang out but an idiom could be long could be like go with the flow so phrasal verbs are usually just two words and idioms are sometimes
Sentence.
very long yeah but it's the same it's words that are together that have another meaning so yeah they're very similar but phrasal verbs are usually just two words
but
something like in on top at lunch not at lunch but hang on hang out hang over hang around things like that
if translate in Thai สำนวน is same thing
yeah it's similar but they like I said one of them is just two words and the other one could be more but they're the same idea it's words together that have another meaning so phone has one meaning but if you put it with another word phoneless or whatever phone in and it makes another meaning then that would be like a phrasal verb or idioms but yeah they're similar yeah okay
why they don't use the same name same thing
because they're
A little
different
bit.
the phrasal verbs are two words and idioms are
Same thing.
ideas
Idea.
that are more than one yeah other than that but they have the same meaning for if you translate it I think because it doesn't really matter if someone said okay it's a phrasal verb it's an idiom that doesn't mean that it's going to be any more important or less important it's just like saying a sword and a knife yeah they're different but you can still use them to cut a cucumber if you want right so if you translated it into another language that never had any weapons
because
they would translate it as the same
my
thing
friend asked me I have to answer them is same but use depend on the sentence
No, I would just say, like I said, phrasal verbs are usually two words, and idioms can be more. That's what I would say.
okay
But the idea is the same. It's just a group of words that has another meaning. Also, an idiom doesn't usually have other words in the middle. Right? Go with the flow. You don't usually say go with I like my car the flow. But phrasal verbs it's common to put something else in the middle, right? So like we were learning before hang on. I'm going to hang
like find anything out or find out
yeah right find out
I heard
or
many times
find something out
in movie
yes
they said many times
yeah find out and find the secret out
find out and find the secret out
yeah so phrasal verbs it's common to have something else in the middle of the sentence you can just put it find out or find out, find the secret out, like that. But you don't usually do that with idioms. So they're a little bit different in the way that you can use them. But like I said, it's still the same because it's a group of words that has another meaning. So find has a meaning, out has a meaning, find out has a different meaning.
Don't translate.
Not easily. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's hear about Siptis. Let's find out about Siptis. Exciting day.
Today I woke up at 10:30 a.m. and after that I walked to a new restaurant
Okay. Restaurant.
To eat.
Hopefully. What else
To eat.
What else would you do there?
And
Just sit there. Hello. Hello.
I don't know anyone there.
No, I was saying you said I'm going to go to the restaurant to eat. But what else could you do there? Just wave at people? Just hang
By
out?
take away.
That's true. Right, you could order something. Yeah.
And after that, I went back to my room. I brushed my teeth and
Teeth.
teeth. And after that,
After.
after that,
After.
after,
After.
after,
After.
after,
Not ter. After.
after,
After.
after,
Uh,
after,
After.
after,
After.
after,
Not the. After.
after,
Der.
the,
Der. After that.
after that,
That's better.
I cleaned my room.
But it doesn't need to be so strong. Cleaned.
Cleaned.
Yeah,
I cleaned my room.
that's good.
I cleaned my room. And then I
Sipti's mom called.
no, at
no.
evening
Okay.
I watched my shirts. Washed my shirts.
Not shirts.
My shirts.
Not
Shirt.
not shirts.
Shirts.
Yeah.
Until 4 p.m. I took a shower.
Not until you washed your shirts until 4 p.m.
Washed and hung them up.
Okay.
I think.
And then
Took a shower.
Okay.
Got dressed and then came here.
Then came here. After this?
After that,
This.
went back to my room.
Not went back.
Oh no, go back.
Right.
Go back to my room.
Okay.
Find something to do.
Okay. Like what?
Like
Party.
no, I have to save money.
Exercise.
I exercise and in the morning.
Exercise.
Exercised
Okay.
in the morning.
Okay. Pull-ups.
Walked.
Just walking. Okay. Okay.
Better
and then?
than didn't do anything.
Did you finish your cave movie?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I have to.
Oh,
I
okay.
have to watch. Keep watching.
Watching.
Time trap.
Okay. Maybe tonight. That's what you can do.
Yes.
Okay, and
after
then?
work, I will come here to do work.
Right. We have one more movie from Back to the Future. The third part
Third part.
from the Old West. Okay, and then?
And then went back to
No.
no, go back to my room.
And then I will.
And then I will go back to my room.
Right.
Took a shower.
Not
Take a
took-
shower
yeah.
and try to sleep.
Right. Good. Language learners like licking luscious lemons.
Language learners like licking luscious lemons.
And Randy rarely reads red, rowdy, racist requests.
Randy rarely reads red, rowdy, racist requests.
Randy rarely reads red, rowdy, racist requests. And language learners like licking luscious lemons.
Randy rarely reads red, rowdy, racist requests. Language learners. Language learners like licking luscious lemons.
Right. Okay, back to Sibti's favorite game. Describe something interesting that you once found.
From about 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes at my grandma's house and I found a baby shirt
You can say at my grandma's house, but
in my,
is better in because you were trying to show people where you are. And you can say at, but it's not as
Better
good as in.
in
this
my
sentence.
grandma's house
Mhm.
and I found a baby shirt. It looked very old and dirty, but I liked it very much, very much. I don't know why. So I took it to my grandma and asked her about it. She said that was your shirt when you were 9 months.
Nah.
9 months
Old.
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 Your mom worked very hard to do that for you.
Make it
Make it
for you.
for you. Because she don't like,
She
she doesn't like homemade หรองานบ้านอะใช่
sewing.
sewing. As my mom talked, I felt
As
my grandma talked, I was very happy and excited to show it to my mom. I said to my grandma, "Can I take it back to my home?" She said, "Absolutely." After that, I tried to wash it and decided to put it on in a little frame. When my mom saw it, she was very happy and excited. Excited. Every time I look at it, it makes me think about how much my mom loves me. Loves me.
I love
My
shirt. The baby shirt.
The baby shirt.
My mom loves
The
baby shirt.
The baby shirt.
He loves the baby shirt.
He loves the baby shirt.
She loves the baby shirt.
She loves the baby shirt.
It loves the baby shirt.
It loves the baby shirt.
My mom loves the baby shirt.
My mom loves the baby shirt.
Okay.
And I think my mom think things the same.
Yes. Right. Yes. Okay. When people are describing things that are not good at English, they like to use many words. Happy, excited, thrilled. But English people don't care. We don't have time. People are tired. They're fat. It's hard for them to breathe. So people don't use as much energy when they're describing things. They won't say, I was really happy and excited and really amazed to show my mom. They'll just use one. I was excited to show my mom. Just
I
one.
was happy จะได้
Yeah, I was happy or I was excited. Just one is okay.
Okay.
Sometimes if people are telling a story and they're really trying to give you a feeling about something like a ghost or something, sometimes they'll use more words. But usually they'll just use one. But when other people are trying to speak English, especially Russian people, they'll say, I was very happy, excited, thrilled to be there. But we don't do that. We just say, I was happy to be there. So just one is okay. The only problem we have is it's too slow, and still the connections between the ideas are not as clear as mine. So you like to say, I went to my grandma's house, I talked with my grandma, I took it home, but the connections between them are not very clear. It's just this one, this one, this one. So we want to connect them a little bit better. So when I hear them, I'll try to think of something else. Okay, try again.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some.
Sorry, let's do this one really, really slow.
Very slow.
Really slow.
I was
Yeah. So you say like
going
this.
through.
I was really, really slow.
I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house,
Yeah, keep going.
and I found
Slow.
a baby shirt. It looked very old and dirty. But I don't know why I liked it very much. So
Much.
much. So I picked it up and showed it to my grandma. I asked her about it.
I picked it up
I picked it up
and I took it
and I took it
to show my grandma.
to show my grandma.
Yeah, when she saw it,
When she saw it, she said, "That is your shirt." Maybe when you were 9.
not were,
When you
were,
When you were.
were.
When you were 9 months old.
Mhm.
I was happy, and I said,
But
I was very happy.
we should say why before you were happy.
Oh, I forgot. My grandma said, that was your shirt. Your mom worked very hard to make it for you. When you were 9 months old. I was very happy
Happy why?
because I think my mom loves me.
Well, you already say that at the end. But you were happy, we should say why you were happy. So I was happy to find it. Or I was happy to have
excited.
it. I was excited.
I
why?
was excited to show it to
To
my
my mom. That's
Mom.
fine. Hmm.
I was excited to show it to my mom. I said to my grandma, "Can I take it back to my
I
home?"
said is too long. English people would just say I asked.
I asked my grandma, "Can I take it back?"
If I could
If I could,
take it back.
if I could take it back to my home. She said,
We would just say I asked my grandma if I could have it.
and next,
That's all. Yeah, I asked my grandma if I could
if
have
I
it.
could take it back.
It's too long.
If
It's
I
okay, but English people will make it quicker. We'll
If
say
I could take it,
take it.
take
But
it.
we won't even say that because it's take is a lot of work. Can I have it?
Can
I
I
asked
have-
my grandma if I could have it.
I asked my grandma, "Can I
If I could have it.
if I could have it?"
Yeah.
So, no, after that, and after that,
Slow.
and after that,
After.
after,
After.
after,
After.
after,
We don't say the T, we say after.
after,
After.
after
Yeah.
that,
Mm-hmm.
I-
That.
that,
Mm-hmm.
I tried to wash
Wash.
it and decided
But we should say that you took it home first.
I
I took it.
and
I took it
after
with
that-
me.
After that,
I took it home
I took it home
and tried to wash it.
and tried to wash it.
Tried.
Tried to wash it, but still,
It.
but it's still dirty.
It was.
But it's still,
It was still dirty.
but it was still dirty
Hmm.
because very old.
It
It very old.
was.
It was very old.
old.
After I cleaned it, I decided to.
Well, you already said you cleaned it and it wasn't clean. So
After cleaned it,
you should say that you tried to clean it and it worked, or you tried to clean it and it didn't work. But then we shouldn't
still
switch to
dirty,
clean. Yeah.
even though
No, you don't need to say cleaning it again.
still dirty.
Yeah. I tried to clean it, but it was still dirty.
So,
Not so, because it's not
But-
about being dirty.
but I don't care.
No, don't worry about that. Just I took it home. I tried to wash it, but it was very difficult because it was very old. After that,
After that, I decided to put it in a little frame,
small.
small frame,
Little takes too much work. We just say small.
small frame,
Frame.
and hang it up,
Hang is no.
hung it up on the wall.
Where?
In my mom's house.
But which room? It's good if you give a detail because then people will know that it's real.
In living room. In the
Not riving.
living room
Yes.
at my mom's house.
Okay.
When my mom saw it, she was excited.
She was excited.
She was excited. Every time I look at it,
She was excited. Why?
she was excited because she haven't had haven't I don't know.
Hadn't.
Huh?
Hadn't.
Had it.
Hadn't.
Hadn't seen for a long. Hadn't seen it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I look at it, it makes me think about how much my mom
about
how much my mom loves me, and I think she thinks the same.
Good. Okay, now as fast as you can.
When I try to talk fast, I will forget something.
Yeah, that's everyone is the same. That's why we play this game.
Okay. About
Quick.
About 7 years.
Fast.
Fast.
Yeah, fast as you can.
About 7 years ago, I was going through
Quick.
some boxes at in my grandma's house, my grandma's house, and
Quick.
I found a baby shirt. It looked very dirty and old, but I don't know why I liked it very much. So I took it to my grandma and asked her about it. She said that it's your shirt. Probably when you were 9 months, your mom worked very hard to make it for you. I was excited to show it to my mom. After I took it back to my home, I tried to
Quick.
wash it and decided to put it in a small frame and hung it up on the wall. When my mom saw it, she was excited because she hadn't seen for a long time. Every time I look at it, it makes me think about how much my mom loves me. And I think my mom thinks the same.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good.
like crazy.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, now the real speed. The real speed. A little bit faster than normal, but it doesn't need to be that fast.
Again,
Yeah, but the real speed.
the real speed.
Yeah, not fast or slow. The real one.
About 7 years
About
7 years ago, I was going through.
Let me read the question first before we do it, just so it sounds right. Describe something interesting that you once found. You should say what you found, how you found it, what you did with it, and of course, why it's important.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found a baby shirt.
A little bit too fast. I was going through boxes in my grandma's house and I found a baby shirt. There should be a pause. I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and while I was going through them, I found an old baby shirt. Right, like that.
Again.
Okay.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found a baby shirt. It looked very old.
When we tell people the most important thing in the story, we should emphasize it.
But emphasize it.
Focus on it. Make it clear that that's what they're looking for. That helps them to understand that's what they're talking about. So the question is, describe something interesting that you once found. If you say the baby shirt too fast, then I think that's not the one.
Baby shirt.
That's not the part that's important. But if you say 7 years ago, I was going through some old boxes in my grandma's house and I found an old baby shirt. Then I know that's the answer that she's giving me. But if you say, 7 years ago I was going through some boxes and I found an old baby shirt and then I took it to my grandma, I feel like that's not the important
You don't know
thing.
the important.
I think there's going to be another one. I'm expecting you to say, 7 years ago I was looking through some boxes, I found an old baby shirt, I took it to my grandma and she gave me a new pen. I'm thinking, I'm waiting for the slow one to show me what you found. So you should emphasize baby shirt, and then I'll know that the baby shirt is the important thing from our question.
We try then.
Okay.
About 7 years ago.
Not years, years.
7 years ago.
Years.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
I was going through some boxes in my boxes in my grandma's house, and I found a baby shirt. Shirt.
It's not the way that it's not the.
I found an old baby shirt. I found an old baby shirt.
It's too hard for you to say it. It should be, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house and I found an old baby shirt.
And I found an old baby shirt.
Baby shirt.
Baby shirt.
Yeah, but you don't have to say shirt. I found an old baby shirt.
I found an old baby shirt.
Right, but you don't need to look like you don't want to be like this. You don't want to say, so I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house and I found an old baby shirt. It doesn't need to be like that. I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house and I found an old baby shirt.
An old baby shirt.
Yeah, okay, try again.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house and I found an old baby shirt. Not easy to.
Right. It shouldn't be difficult though. It should be natural. It's not a scary story. It's not a bad story. So it should be like a natural person would say something that interesting that they found, right? If you're telling your friend that you found a new phone, you wouldn't say, guess what? I went to the store, I found a phone. No, you would say, guess what? I found a new phone, right? You don't need to be like this, but there is a little bit of interest when you're telling someone that that there's something that you found. Now, people at home, people watching this, they might be like, John, what is this? You know, why are you doing this? The difference between getting a 6 and a 7 includes the ability to focus people's attention on different parts of the sentence. When you say, I went to my grandma's house and I found a phone, that's okay, but you can't get a 7, right? So if you just only want to get a 6 is like the ability to speak and understand things. You can't describe the universe. You can't describe complicated things, but you can tell people that you're hungry. You can tell people if the police come to you, you can tell them what you saw. But there's no interest when someone hears it. It just sounds like a robot. There's no complicated sentence structures. So if you want to get a 7, some people don't care. Some people just need to get a 6. That's true. You don't need to waste all of this time. But I want to show you how much effort it takes to really get to a 7. And anyone can do it. But you can see it's going to take probably 10 hours to do it. But once you see it, I think you will be able to get there on your own. So the difference between a 6, someone who's speaking at a 6 level is going to be like this. I went to my grandma's house and I found a baby shirt. Someone who gets a 7 or a 7.5 will say, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house and I found an old baby shirt. Right?
An old baby shirt.
You can hear the difference, right? There's a very clear difference between somebody who's just saying,
More detail.
It's not more details, it's just able to imagine what I'm going to say so that, and then I can change the speed of the sentence because I know what I'm going to say. When someone's just beginning, it's too hard for them to think ahead. They just have to say, I was going through boxes in my grandma's house and I found a baby shirt. That's how people speak when they're at that level. But at a 7 or an 8, it has to have more
More energy.
Not more energy, but it has to be less work for you to say it. If you're using all of your effort to speak, then people can see that. They can notice it. If you're like, I was going through boxes, we can see that it's too hard for you. Right?
Yes.
When someone does something naturally, you can see it, right? It's like a samurai. If you give somebody a samurai sword who has no idea how to use it, and you watch them swing, it's going to be like this. If you give it to someone who has trained all of their life, you can see it in their motion, right? They don't use a lot of energy. It's natural. It's just they whip. They have a natural whip to it that you can see, right? You can, if you watch Japanom fighting and you watch Sipti fighting, you can see in 1 second who has been practicing a long, long time. It's not easy to trick someone who has listened to English their whole life. You can hear it instantly when somebody makes a mistake and when somebody is using too much energy. So we have to relax a little bit, and it has to be a little bit easier for you to say the sentences. Okay, go ahead.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt.
Okay, but it's too slow. So first you have to do the really crazy one so that you can relax and go back to the easy one. So first you need to go like this, okay? I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house and I found an old baby shirt. Okay, first you need to do that one so that you are not nervous about it. It can't be scary, right? Okay, so do it like I did.
About 7 years ago, I was going to some boxes at my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt.
Okay, that's not strong enough. It needs to be.
Right now, I understand why in the beginning you try to make me like actor or something.
Right. We have to be crazier, and then we go back to the normal, and then it feels natural. Right? If you practice being crazy, and then you come back to the normal one, it feels natural. You have more confidence because you've done it being crazy. You don't care anymore about that, and then you're confident again. right? So again, but you got to be crazy like this. You got to say, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house and I found an old baby shirt.
No.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Not
And
easy
then
to do,
it's
John.
not easy. But when you do that and then you come back to the regular,
found.
you come back to the regular one, it will seem confident.
I found.
Okay, come on.
I found.
No, you start from the beginning. It's got to be real though.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house.
My grandma's.
My grandma's.
Not so solo, my grandma's.
My grandma's house. And I found an old baby shirt.
More than that.
John is,
Just for practice.
I give you more everything. Every
It's
my
not
idea.
enough. It's like it's like 60%. I need 110%. I was going through some boxes in
was
my
going
grandma's
through,
house,
yeah.
and I found an old baby shirt like that. Okay.
People will think I'm crazy.
But we're not going to do that in the test. It's just to get over the fear that you have that is making it sound wrong. So this is what you do. You go past what you need, and then you return to the regular one, and then it's confident. Okay.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt.
It's not crazy enough. I want a crazy one.
It's crazy.
And I want like this. Like crazy. Go ahead.
Oh no,
Come on.
John.
Come on. Like crazy, like a silly person.
I have to drunk.
No.
Oh my
Be
God.
drunk.
I have to be
Drunk.
drunk.
Get some wine on the show. 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house and I found an old baby shirt. Right? Crazy. Let's see it.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some
Through
some boxes,
old boxes.
old boxes, and I found an old baby shirt.
Too fast. An old baby shirt.
An old baby shirt.
If that's all we get, it's not enough, but I guess that's all we're going to get.
An old baby shirt.
That's a little bit better, but okay, fine. Okay, the regular one.
It was very dirty.
No, from the beginning.
Oh my god. About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes.
From the beginning.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes
From the beginning.
and no. About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house. In my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. An old
Yeah.
baby shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It looked very old.
We don't want to repeat the words multiple times.
It looked-
From the beginning.
Oh my god. About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. It looked very dirty, but I don't know why I liked it very much. It looked pretty because very small.
Not pretty.
It looked cute because it was
from the beginning.
it was 7 years ago. I was going through I was going through some
through yes
some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. It looked very, very dirty, but I don't know why I liked it very much. So I took it to my grandma and asked her about it. She said that was your shirt. Maybe when you were 9 months old, your mom worked very hard to make it for you. I said, can I take it back to my home? Because I was very excited to show it to my mom. She said, absolutely. I took it back to my home and tried to wash it and decided to put it in small frame and hung it up in the wall on the wall.
Not in the wall.
On the wall.
On the wall.
Oh my god.
From the beginning.
7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. It looked very dirty, but I don't know why I liked it very much. I took it to my grandma and asked her about it. She said, that is your shirt. When you were 9 months old, your mom worked very hard to make it for you. I said, can I take it back to my home? Because I was excited to show it to my mom. She said, absolutely. After that, I tried to wash it and decided to put it in a small frame and hung it up on the wall in the living room at my mom's house. When my mom saw it, she was excited because she hadn't seen it for a long time. Every time I look at it, it makes me think about how much my mom loves me, and I think my mom thinks the same.
Too fast at the end. And I think that my mom thinks the same.
And I think that my mom thinks the same.
The same.
The same.
It's pretty good. The only problem is it's not quite smooth enough. It's not clear enough that you know how to connect the sentences together. It feels like someone who is reading a script. It doesn't. When you see people who are very bad at doing movies, when you see them in the movies, you'll always see them like this. And then, I don't like you, right? But someone who's a good actor, you can hear very quickly that they say the words naturally. It's not easy. It's not easy for even American people, right? If you, just because someone speaks English doesn't mean that they can say sentences perfectly. There's a lot of people like Napoleon Dynamite that might have trouble on the English test because it requires some intelligence also, not just speaking. You have to be able to imagine things, and that's not really an English skill. You know, on the IELTS test, they make you imagine things, but that's not an English skill. That's an intelligence skill. And I think Napoleon Dynamite might get a 5 on the IELTS test because he doesn't understand how to imagine a better life. Anyway, the only problem is the speed of the connections between the sentences. The sentences are okay. So, like this. So, you know, about 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes, some old dirty boxes in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. I didn't know whose it was, but it was very small, and I picked it up and brought it downstairs to my grandma, who was surprised to see it. She said that it was mine when I was 9 months old. I asked her if I could take it home to show my mom, and she said, of course. Your mom spent a long time trying to make that. She's not good at sewing, as you know. So I took it home and I tried to wash it before I showed my mom. I tried to clean it, but it was so old and destroyed that it was difficult to do. Eventually, I managed to clean it. I put it in a small frame and put it up on the wall. And my mom, when she saw it, she was very surprised. She almost cried. She said that it was something that she never thought she would see again. Now, whenever me and my mom see it, we remember how much we love each other and that we should spend more time together if we can. Right? So, a little bit better connection between the words. Okay.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. It looked very dirty, but I don't know why. I liked it very much. I took it to my grandma and asked her about it. She was excited and said, "That is your shirt. When you were 9 months old, your mom worked very hard to make it for you." I was very happy and said, "Can I take it back to my home? Because I want to show my mom. I want to show it to my mom." She said, "Of course." After that, I tried to wash it. It's not easy to do because it was very, very old. But in the end, I decided to put it in small frame and hung it up on the wall in the living room at my mom's house. When my mom saw it, she was surprised and very happy. Every time I look at it, it makes me think about how much my mom loves me, and I think she thinks the same. So I have no energy to.
That's pretty good. I would say, in my opinion, that's 6.5. The only problem why it's not a 7 is because you went back to skipping the ends of the words like Thai people do. You about and my ma and my grandma, not grandma.
grandma
there's a little bit
About.
more sound at the ends of the words that you skipped. Oh, right? Type people say oh, but it's not
Old.
oh, it's old. And that's the only problem, I think. So one more time, and same thing. Try to pronounce the ends of the words a little bit better, but not too strong. It's not like this. I was going through some old boxes and I found an old. It's not like that.
Old.
It's just a little
Old.
bit more at the end.
Old.
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 Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. It looked very dirty, but I don't know why. I liked it very much. I took it to my grandma and asked her about it. She was excited and said, "That was your shirt when you were 9 months old. Your mom worked very hard to make it for you." I was very happy and said, "Can I take it back to my home? Because I want my mom to see." She said, "Of course." After that, I tried to wash it and decided to put it in a small frame and hung it up on the wall in the living room at my mom's house. In the beginning, when my mom saw it,
Not in the beginning.
when my mom saw it, she was surprised because
Surprised. Yeah. Good.
surprised because she hadn't seen for a long
It.
she hadn't seen it for a long time.
For a long time.
Every time I look at it, it makes me think about how much my mom loves me, and I think she thinks the same.
The end is not good enough. The end should be like this. I put it in a small frame, I hung it on the wall, and when I look at it, I think about how much my mom loves me, and I think that she thinks the same.
And I think that she thinks the same.
The same.
The same.
Yeah. And I think
And I think
that she thinks
that she thinks
the same.
the same.
The same.
The same.
Yeah. You don't want to look up because that's not. At the end, you should focus on them and tell them that it's true.
The
Right?
same.
Right. And I think that she thinks, like this. Watch my eyes. And I think that she thinks the same. Right. You focus that part is real. Now, in the test, they can't see your eyes. Probably they just record it, and the person in Thailand is probably not that smart, and they just ask you the questions and they record it, and probably they send the tape to someone in the UK, a group of people. Probably there's like 5 people or something. They each listen to it and they give you a grade, and then they give you the average grade. I'm not sure what they do, but I don't think it's a person in Thailand that's going to review it. They probably take it a little bit more seriously than that because it's a lot of money. Maybe they don't care. Maybe it's just some idiot who gives you a number. But I think they probably are careful. I would imagine. That's pretty good. It's almost there. The problem is that it's still, when you get to a mistake, you have to review it. You have to repeat it, right? So you said, I was going through an old, right? English people are not going to have to repeat words. I make mistakes, but I keep going, or I fix it in a little bit clearer way. I don't have to repeat the thing. So we can hear it's a little bit, you're not confident, right? When I make a mistake, I don't care because I know I can speak English. But when you make a mistake, it hurts you. You say, oh, old. When I say old because I don't care. Nobody's going to say, John, you can't speak English. People say, John, you're stupid. I hate you. But nobody has, except for that one Spanish guy, remember? I've never had anyone tell me, except one guy, if I spoke English or not. So I'm not afraid of that, but you are. That's the only thing I think that's left. One more time.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. It looked very dirty, but I don't know why I liked it very much. So I took it to my grandma and asked her about it. She was surprised and said, that was your shirt when you were 9 months old. Your mom worked very hard to make it for you. I was very happy and said, can I take it back to my home because I want to show it to my mom? She said, of course. After that, I tried to clean it and decided to put it in a small frame and hung it up.
And then
hung it up on the wall in the living room at my mom's house. When she saw it, she was very happy because she hadn't seen for a long time. Hadn't seen it for a long time. Every time I look at it, it makes me think about how much my mom loves me, and I think she thinks the same.
Okay, again.
7 years ago, I was going through some boxes.
Yeah, from the beginning.
7 years ago, I was going through some boxes.
Yeah.
Boxes.
From the beginning.
7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. It looked very dirty, but I don't know why I liked it very much. So I took it to my grandma and asked her about it. She was surprised and said, that was your shirt when you were 9 months old. Your mom worked very hard to make it for you. I was very happy and said, can I take it back to my home because I want to show it to my mom? She said, of course. After that, I tried to wash it, but not easy to do because it's very old. In the end, I decided to put it in a small frame and hung it up on the wall in the living room at my mom's house. When my mom saw it, she was very happy because She hadn't she hadn't seen it for a long time. Every time I look at it, it makes me think about how much my mom loves me. And I think she thinks the same.
Almost. The only problem is when you said not easy to do. This is a mistake that all Thai people make, but it needs to be it wasn't easy to do.
It wasn't.
Yeah. Thai people say I want to do but not easy. They miss all of the important word. I wanted to do it, but it wasn't easy. Right? Thai
It
people just say
wasn't easy.
I want do. It needs to be I want to do it, but not easy. It wasn't easy. So we don't want that Thai simplification of the sentence. Okay, one more time.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some boxes in my boxes.
Yeah. From the beginning. You can just say stuff. If it's hard for you to say boxes, then just say stuff. I was going through some old stuff.
Some boxes.
Boxes is harder. Just say stuff.
Stuff.
Yes, stuff.
I was going through some stuff.
Some old stuff.
Some old stuff.
Yeah, that's better. Try that one.
About 7 years ago, I was going through some old box. No.
From the beginning.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff. Old stuff.
Yeah.
About 7 years ago, I was going through old stuff.
Some old stuff.
Some old. About 7 years ago, I was going through some old stuff. And I found an old baby shirt. Old
Right.
baby shirt. No, that's it.
Right. It's difficult.
7 years ago, I was going through some old stuff, and I found
In my grandma's house. We need to know where.
7 years ago, I was going through some old stuff in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. It looked very dirty, but I don't know why I liked it very much. So I took it to my grandma and asked her about it. She was surprised and said, "That was your shirt when you were 9 months old." I was very happy. Old. Oh my god. About 7 years ago, I was going through some old stuff.
Old. Yeah.
Old. About 7 years ago, I was going through some old stuff in my grandma's house, and I found an old baby shirt. It looked very dirty, but I don't know why I liked it very much. I took it to my grandma and asked her about it. She said, "That was your shirt when you were 9 months old. Your mom worked very hard to make it for you." I was very happy and said, "Can I take it back to my home? Because I want to show it to my mom." She said, "Of course." After that, I tried to wash it, but it's very hard because it was old. In the end, I decided to put it in a small frame and hung it up on the wall. in the living room at my mom's house. When my mom saw it, she was very surprised and happy. Every time I look at it, it makes me think about how much my mom loves me. And I think she thinks the same.
It's pretty good. But not she surprised. She was surprised.
She was surprised.
That was the only problem that I heard. I think it's a 6.5. It's not quite a 7 because I can still hear that it's hard for you to make the sentences. It's not as exciting as someone who's telling a story. But I think it's a 6.5, in my opinion. People who are actually IELTS examiners say, no, John, it's actually 6.1 because I don't care about that. In my opinion, it's 6.5. It's easy to understand. It's clear. The story is interesting. There's a lot of vocabulary. There's a lot of words in there. The sentences are correct because we fixed them now. They sound like something that I would say. They sound natural. There's just a little bit of pauses between them that are a little bit unnatural. But overall, I would say 6.5. So it's pretty good. We'll get it up to a 7. It's, as you can see, it's not easy.
Yes.
You know, the difference between just a 5.5 and a 6.5 or a 7 is really hard. To get from a 6 to a 7 is really, really difficult. Getting up to a 6, I think, is pretty natural. It's easy. It's not easy, but it's a natural process. But getting from a 6 to a 7 is really difficult. And even if you get to a 7, a lot of times people will lose that ability if they don't practice every day. So it's not something that you can maintain. Sometimes people get up to a 7 or a 7.5, and then they don't speak English for a few years, and they go back to a 6. So if you're studying English, you should consider what level you can maintain, what level you can actually stay at. If you don't live in an English-speaking country and you never plan to go to an English-speaking country, getting to a 7 or a 7.5 is not worth your time or your money. It's better just to focus on a 6 or a 6.5. If you plan on going to school or you want to move somewhere, then you should go for a 7 because you'll be able to maintain that level. But if you just need it to speak with people at a store or something, 6.5 is a fine level to get. Anyway, I think that's good. Right. Well, people don't like me, and nature likes to make trouble for my show. The rain in the beginning of the show and people taking a shower at the end. Anyway, Sipti's tired. Probably she'll fall asleep after that. It takes a lot of energy, right? It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's not easy. It's really difficult for me too. Okay, anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No.
If you want to see Sipti talking more about her baby shirt, then come back tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
ขอบคุณค่ะ